Hi everybody, this is Viji'sVeggieVignettes here. Today I'm going to be doing something very special, something that's a favorite in our home and in any Indian home. This dessert is famous throughout India, but in different regions they do slightly different. So in South India and particularly in my home, we do it this way. What I'm going to do is Badam Halwa or an almond fudge, a soft fudge. And I'll show you the steps that go into doing it. This is the almond that I soaked in water and it grew in size, and it's very easy to peel it with your fingers. This is the saffron that I've soaked in hot milk, and the ghee, of course. All this go into making this fantastic dessert. This is a paste I did with soaked almond. I easily peel the skin. In fact, if you put it in the microwave for just 2 minutes with little water, you can immediately, peel the skin. But if you were to soak it in plain water and keep it aside, that would take about 2 to 3 hours for it to get ready. So an instant way would be to do it in a microwave. So whatever suits you, you can do. This is not a fine paste, but a little coarse, almost fine paste. You do it in a microwave. You can pinch it. It would look a little wrinkled, of course. You can pinch it and the skin will come out easily. And you take half or 3/4 amount, whatever sugar that suits your family. If you want a little extra sugar, then you take 3/4. Otherwise, half would do. Okay? And then you add ghee at intervals when you are stir frying it. And then in the end, add this saffron soaked in milk. So let's see how we do it. So I'm going to be adding this whole thing. To this goes the sugar. This will become a little watery because the sugar lets in some water. So if you take half a cup of this paste, you can take either a 1/4 cup or a little more than a 1/4 cup of sugar according to the sweetness that your family likes. All the details of the measurements will be in the description box below. So please look out for that. Here, you see it's turning into a little more, less pasty. So we will keep stirring it. And I'll tell you at what stage we start adding the ghee little by little. So this takes a cool 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the quantity you're doing. But don't keep the flame on high. You just have to be a little patient, and then with all that devotion, you get the best dessert in the world, because not only is almond expensive, but you're using an expensive thing like the saffron, which is the most expensive spice in the world. And at this stage, I will add a little ghee. The homemade ghee, I'll add a little bit. Now you can take half a portion of the ghee to 1 portion of the almond, or you can take 3/4. It is left to you if you want to use. I don't use that amount of ghee, just a little bit. I know people are going to say it's so tasty with so much of ghee, but it gives an equally good flavor with that slightly lesser amount of ghee. I'll add the saffron almost in the end. Main flavor that heightens the flavor of the almond are the saffron and the ghee for this dessert. For some reason, there is a relationship between saffron and almond. I've always found it fascinating how the flavor of the almond zooms up when you use the saffron. This is done. I'll use some more. So your stirring should be consistent to the point that it becomes a paste. So this is almost done. I will add in more ghee. It actually, when it cools up, it becomes a little harder. It won't stay so pasty. It'll become slightly harder, but it'll be a good soft fudge. When it starts rolling inside like this, you know it's almost complete. Do not allow it to stick to the bottom. Make sure it doesn't stick, otherwise it will get brown under, and that will not taste good. It's all coming inside clean. So this is what I'm looking for. At this stage, I will add the saffron that I had soaked in milk. Here, let me use all this ghee, and this is done. Let me just add a little more of this here and there, and this is done. When you make it into a paste, if there are small bits remaining, you need to remove it. Or if you can mash it up into a grainy paste, then add it along with that. In the US, you get good saffron in Trader Joe's than if you were to buy from the Indian grocery. I would recommend you buy it from Trader Joe's. And I don't know in the other places, but just make sure you go and buy a genuine saffron. We make the ghee at home, and we definitely add saffron to it. We do not add cardamom powder because that changes the taste of the almond. Now, what makes the taste of the almond better is the saffron and the homemade ghee. And one more tip, if you were to add water instead of milk, then that will not be a little sticky to your jaw, you know. But when you add milk to it, then that gets to be a sticky, slightly sticky fudge. So remember, either you want to use water, which you are welcome to use, or you can use milk. Now, even the saffron, you can soak it in hot water, so the color gets down into the water and gets that deep orange color, and you can add. So that will give a less sticky effect, but the water will not do that. So remember this tip and use whatever you want, either water or milk, but make this fudge at home, which we call Badam Halwa in the South. And one more tip, if you want to add more sugar, then you can cut it into shapes. Now, adding less sugar will make it more into a fudge. You need to add equal amount of sugar, equal amount of badam, then you can cut it into shape, because however you do it, even if you stir it a little more to be able to cut into shapes, you won't be able to do it if you add a lesser amount of sugar. Even when you cut it, you keep it in the fridge, you take it out, cut it, after it cools, it'll still remain a little fudgy to the bite. It will not taste like a soft cake. So these are the little tips you have to remember. So adding more sugar to make into a shape is something you have to choose whether you want to do it, or just have it as a paste like this, which is extremely tasty. And also you just heat this up and then serve it with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. It tastes tremendous. I mean, I cannot tell you how the taste will be. You would love to do it. Try this at home. It's pretty easy. All it takes is a little extra time to stir. Otherwise, it turns out to be wonderful for even a novice. So do try this. In one of my videos, I have shown how to make ghee from unsalted butter, homemade ghee. Just watch that and use that kind of ghee for all your recipes, because that tastes very good and it's not store-bought. It's absolutely pure and delicious to use for your food. So watch that video and learn how to make your own homemade ghee. So this can be done for a Diwali, for an occasion, or when you call people home for a brunch or dinner or something, or for a party. You can offer this as a dessert and it'll be highly appreciated. And do subscribe to my channel, watch and like, and till we meet again the next time with a completely new recipe. This is Viji'sVeggieVignettes signing off. Bye.